Hello, welcome back. Today we have Cecilia, who is a soon-to-be Jiu-jitsu blue belt and a judo yellow belt. And we are going to go over some takedown counters and defenses, as well as some triangle defense and setup. First, anytime somebody is about to forward throw you, whether that be a hip throw or with their leg out, the key is to step around either their hip or their leg to successfully defend the takedown. Our second principle is anytime somebody is trying to use a takedown that involves hooking your leg, the key is to step out of the leg hook. Now here, if you want more successful takedowns, if I would have hopped with my left leg backward, I would have been able to maintain the hook, and that would have been a higher probability of success. Here you can see that step around is also true. Here is a headbutt, accidental headbutt. She ran into my head, so we had to take a little brief headbutt intermission. All right, now this next throw, this is called a tomonogi. The key is with the tomonogi is the distance between where your foot and their foot is and your butt in relation to their hips. You want to get your foot very close to their hips, very close to their feet, and your hip under their hip in order to levitate them onto your foot. You basically need to get under them to lift them up. And that's a great setup for a helicopter armbar. The nice thing about a tomonogi is it's low risk. If you mess up, the worst case is you're gonna pull guard. And of course I had to give her, you know, like what are we practicing judo and you pull guard? Now here is a new takedown that I have tested at Pedro's Judo, and this works against bigger people. Now, anytime that somebody is about to forward throw you, or you could even set it up by doing like a back trip and they lean forward. Anytime you feel them leaning forward with commitment, what you want to do is you want to shoot the inside leg between theirs and sit to the ground, and then they roll over you. And this works so great, especially if they're trying to commit with 100%. If they're really trying to throw you and then you go underneath them, it's amazing when they do the work for you. Those are the takedowns that I like, when I have to do the least amount of work and I just get to sit down. Here's a little game of footsies. It's to prevent a sweep, you can go under their leg and basically prevent their legs from going over you, or you can be the first to kickstand backward to avoid getting swept from half guard. Now we're gonna go into triangles, okay? We're gonna go into how you can defend triangles so you get triangle choked less, and also how you can set up triangles so you can get more triangle submissions during your next time rolling. Now from a closed guard, I'm doing this back and forth set up to sweep, but it also allows me to get head and arm control and one leg over. Okay, now keep an eye on my leg that's hooking the inside of her leg. And you see how it's swiveled out to get the triangle top lock, and from here, I belly out and roll to get mounted triangle. And I have this move in my mounted triangle BJJ Fanatics Instructional. That's always linked in the description. This move specifically is in there because only the moves that work, that I actually use and that has worked against bigger people, that's what I put in my instructional. Now Cecilia is asking me, hey, like, how did I get caught in that triangle? What's the defense? So we're gonna go over the defense of when you feel in danger, what to do. So from here, if you are in Cecilia's position and you feel like there's one leg over your back and you have head and arm control within the leg, the key is to control the knee. She would want to have her right leg step over my knee, or she would want to control the leg that's hooked within her thigh, because as soon as that leg swivels out, then it's triangle city. And the key that I love here too is you don't even need the triangle lock tight. You could just have a top lock, which is basically like a guard that's capturing their head and arm. And then once you belly out, that turns it right into a mounted triangle. All right, next I'll replay this with some good music. That way you can have your own thoughts about the technique, so you can almost have like a mental rep of it, which is super useful. And I have a question that I just got that I will answer at the end.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. No, 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 no. This is America. No, 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 I gotta carry.
Okay, I'm feeling too sexy to accept requests. And I'm way too sexy to go unprotected. And she popped a Tesla, now she gonna let you. Okay, alright, that's fine. Okay, oh you like the boy, well tell me what you like about him. You a talk a little thotty, ain't no wife about it. So sexy. Yeah, I like it crowded. Too sexy for this. Too sexy for this. Too sexy for your. Too sexy for this. Too sexy for this. Yeah, I like it crowded. Too sexy for this girl. Too sexy for your girl. Too sexy for this world. Too sexy for this ice. Too sexy for that chat. Yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy.
I hate him inspired from I need the sun. It's going and drying, it's coming outside. Yeah, I run on that dana, the cuz behind me. I spit on his mic and I heat trying to sign me.
Yana, I'm a freak, cuffs, leashes. Switch my wig, make him feel like he cheating. Put him on his knees, give him something to believe in. Never lost a fight, but I'm looking for a
Telling me
beat.
to chill.
All right, so Allison writes, "Hi Crystal, I am considering my first BJJ competition this summer and was wondering if you had any recommendations on what organization to start with. I was looking at NAGA or Tap Cancer Out. I am a 40-year-old brand new blue belt. Congratulations on the new blue belt. If nobody is my bracket, would you recommend going down in age or up in weight? I'm currently 117 pounds. Ideally, I'd like to have a positive experience and not get hurt. Thank you, Allison." All right, so a couple of things. What I would do is, if I was looking at an organization that had the largest bracket of my category, I would look at their historical events or upcoming events and see, you know, how many people signed up like in my area. If I had the choice, I would definitely stick to the weight category and I would be more flexible on age. And then finally, okay, so the part about I'd like to have a positive experience and not get hurt, all right, so basically, anytime that, for me it's MMA fights. So when I have an upcoming MMA fight, what typically happens for me is the night before weigh-ins, when, you know, you're depleted on carbs, you haven't eaten carbs in a week, you're mentally, physically exhausted. You know, like I'm in the bath, I'm like trying to sweat out the final pounds to make weight. That is the time when the fear thoughts try to make their way. And what I like to do is I like to give myself, like as soon as I have that first fear thought, whatever it might be, fear and self-doubt, I will set like a mental timer and like clock the thought and not feed into the thought for like more than 7 seconds. Because once I feed into a thought and the momentum starts, then it gets harder and harder to get out of that thought pattern once, you know, it's like the momentum happens. So anytime that you are thinking about this event and a fear thought creeps in, just because it's a thought in the mind doesn't mean it's your thought, doesn't mean you have to take ownership of it, doesn't mean you have to entertain it. It is a frequency that just came in and it's fear 101.5, and I'm just like, listen, I'm on a happy motherfucker 108.5, okay? I'm not on that fear radio, so not me. So just think about that. Like, it's great to focus on what you want to have happen. Like, you know, you're gonna feel so proud of yourself for signing up for the event and for doing it and accomplishing it. And, you know, one thing that I've learned doing MMA fights is I like to practice not having my self-worth be tied to the external validation of like winning or losing. What I like to remind myself is like, listen, the real win is who you become in the process of doing things that are challenging for you. No one can build courage without feeling fear first. The fear, like, you're not gonna need courage for something that you're not afraid of doing, right? But once you face fear and you learn about it, for how it feels for you and what happens within you, then that's what builds your courage and confidence to do more and more things that are outside of your comfort zone or are challenging for you. And then you can build upon it. You can like look back and be like, wait a minute, well, I did this. Like, how about we take another step and another step? So yeah, it's exciting to think about like how good you're gonna feel that you did it. You know, just like you got that blue belt, like that is an accomplishment. Like, be proud of that. Like, I'm proud of you for that. Like, that is an accomplishment, you know? Yeah. So, can we just have a moment to like congratulate ourselves for the things that we have done and the fear that we have faced? And one thing that I've learned that helped me with the fear is thanking the fear instead of, you know, like Carl Young in the shadow, like the side of yourself that you're just like, you want to almost push away. Like, be like, hey, fear, you know what? I see you. Thank you for allowing our species to survive without fear. You know, we would have been making really stupid decisions, but right now, like, I don't need you. Like, you're kind of, you know, like, we got this. Let us go do the thing and we're gonna grow from it. So yeah, that's my dance with fear. And the nice thing is, for me, when I'm in these challenging situations, I understand more and more my thought patterns and how my brain operates. And then I know the pattern, so I'm familiar with it, so I know what's gonna happen. Like, anytime I have an MMA fight, like the night before weigh-in, I'm in the tub and I'm just like, where's oh no, the fear and self-doubt? But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. You're gonna feel so proud of yourself for doing this competition, and I'm proud of you. All right, until next time, bye.
With the jab like dun 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 dun. Oh my gosh, look at her butt. And I'm up. Look at. Now from the top, make it drop. That's so. Now